and the director of the Oregon Short Film Festival. We have our fall 2022 event coming up on October the 14th at the Clinton Street Theater. We're going to be streaming all kinds of films of all genres that are 30 minutes or less, everything from animation to horror films to music videos, you name it. And we have a category called dark drama, and one of the films that has been nominated for the Best Dark Drama Film Awards called Blister. And we are joined by the whole crew here. James, Rylan, Corey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Hey, good. How about you?
Yeah. I'm great. Thanks for asking, and thank you for taking the time to be here to talk about this film. Let's get right into it. The synopsis, James Weicker. Director James Weicker, I'm going to jump into this. Please tell me, sir, what is the synopsis of this film? I don't want to give away the end, so go for it.
Yeah. So basically, this is a story. It follows a man who is kind of trapped in what I like to call this urban landscape of downtown Vancouver, and he's ignoring his pain and his hunger and this growing blister on his foot as he's trying to reach this this goal, this weight goal of 200 pounds. Under 200 pounds is kind of like the main kind of goal that he has in his head. And the story kind of follows him as he slowly starts to kind of stop being healthy about it, is probably a good way to put it. It kind of goes down a deep hole as he tries to lose those last few pounds. And I don't want to spoil the ending either, but it goes to some pretty dark places for sure.
Yeah, this is really, really well done, and quite the mental rabbit hole this one goes into. I want to get into the motivations. I want to ask each of you. I'll start with Corey, but I want to get into the motivations for why this film. Like you're seeing this role, or you're reading this script, and why was this something that you said, okay, this is I'm going to put my time, effort, and energy into this.
I guess I just wanted to put myself through as much pain as possible. So, yeah. It would James sent me the script. We'd worked on a draft together before, and is something I could really relate to. This guy trying to get to a certain number on the scale, and as an actor in this industry, having a little bit of a belly, I could understand that. And yeah, it was just such a cool concept, and I love working with James and Rylan, and yeah, it was like a no-brainer to me. And I love the ending. So as an actor, the more messed up you can go, it's like, yeah, let's do it. It's fun. And it was also a huge challenge for me. So, I just wanted to jump on the opportunity.
Excellent. And Rylan, you're the guy creating the look and the output product here as the director of photography and the editor. But before you were the director of photography and before you were the editor, you had to look at this project and say, what am I getting myself into? So why this project?
Actually, before James wrote the script, we had hiked that mountain that's in the film, and we basically just kept seeing locations, and we're like, we should build some sort of story that we can shoot up here, because like we're used to shooting with like a lot of limitations, and we're like, if we're not going to use a big crew, we're going to use small cameras and lenses. Like, what does that afford us? Like, what can we do that we wouldn't be able to do with a huge crew and like huge heavy gear? And one of them is go up that 3-hour hike there and back and put like some sort of story together there. So I think that was the main thing, is I just wanted to like challenge ourselves. Like, what can we pull off on a shoestring budget with one actor?
All right. And James, this is your creation, not just the director, but the writer of it. Did this come from like a personal place? Like, what happened here?
Yeah, it definitely came from I've struggled with my weight pretty much my entire life, so it definitely comes from that. Kind of more specifically, when I wrote the first draft of this script, it was like summer 2020, and we were like right in that first little block of quarantine, and everyone's kind of afraid to leave the house, and I think we all kind of had like our little projects that we needed, and mine was like, I'm gonna lose some weight. I gotta lose some weight, and I just kind of I fell into this pattern that is not as bad as it is in the film, but kind of it's the emotional side of just like pushing your body for this goal. And like I had lots of times where like, you know, I would have blisters, like that's where the title comes from, or I would have like, you know, sore ankle, and instead of just being like, all right, I'm gonna take a few days off, I would just like keep pushing myself, and then it would make it to the point where I could barely walk, and so I would have to stop. And yeah, so I started writing a version of that. And as Rylan mentioned, we went on that hike that summer, and I just like we were talking about like how cool it would be to shoot on this hike, and I was like, yes, this is the missing piece to this. Is I need to get this guy out of the city at some point, and I need him to just like have this kind of like out in nature kind of like primal moment.
All right. Interesting stuff. You know, true story. I had a friend of mine very recently who was obsessed with getting down to 190 pounds. This is a true story. True story. Obsessed. And he did this crazy carnivore diet where it was just like nothing but like meat and salt. Like he wouldn't even put herbs or anything on his food. And he lost a dramatic amount of weight. I want to say it was like 20 pounds in 60 days or something.
Oh, wow.
He's only 41 years old, and he broke out in shingles, bro. Like he had to shave off all of his hair, and he had this huge reaction and some like nutritional deficiencies and stuff like that, and just went crazy doing it. And it's just like, hey man, I'm a porky dude. I think I'll stay porky. I'm not going to deal with the shingles, but it's so funny that is just a parallel in true life. Inserting that on your interview here, but I'm going to go into the learning phase of this, and I'm going to go around to each of you. I'll start with you, Corey, again. Let's talk about what you learned from this. I feel like every single film is a little bit of film school, and there's something that you learn from either taking on a new role or maybe shooting in different conditions that you've never shot in before, or just maybe doing something different, something new. What'd you learn on this one, Corey?
Well, I learned a lot. One of the biggest things is just how much I miss other actors. Doing a movie where it's just you, that was the hardest aspect of it for me, I think, because there's no one to bounce, you know, your things off of, your ideas. What's interesting though was all of the scenes kind of in front of the mirror. I started noticing a kind of internal dialogue with myself, and then I started like using the mirror as a scene partner, which was really interesting. But yeah, it just goes to show that acting, it's so much, you know, about interaction and relationship. And I think this movie is about, you know, this guy's relationship with himself. And it was cool to discover that on set. I also kind of learned, just on the production side of things, don't schedule, because I was a producer as well, don't schedule a 4 a.m. drive the day after you've been shooting for how long? 12 hours, 13, 14? Yeah, wow. So we lost a shot, but that's okay. Yeah, and also just I learned some things just about being on set, safety. As an actor, taking care of yourself is pretty important, because there's that one day where we did all of the kind of physical stuff. I was doing the burpees and running and all this shit, and I kind of didn't eat much until there's the scene with the burger. So I just ate that burger in like 5 minutes. And after being exhausted, I stood up, and then my legs locked and I couldn't really move because the sugar rush, right?
Oh, so my goodness.
Rylan had to kind of pick me up and sit me down somewhere. But yeah, just taking care of yourself, and yeah.
I know what Rylan's going to say. He's going to say, I learned not to carry actors around on the mountain. Yeah. Talk to me, Rylan. You obviously did a lot. You got production and post. You probably have a laundry list for me. But what did you learn during this?
I learned just how rewarding it can be. I mean, like he said, he's the only actor in it, but like I feel like the whole time we were shooting, it was sort of a dance between the two of us, because like it's just the two of us out there in the mountain and like in the city, kind of bouncing off each other. And I feel like I learned how rewarding it was to just find your locations and then like find a rhythm there on the day, because like there's not much prep that we were able to do. We kind of did like a practice hike, but for the most part when we went up, we were just like putting the pieces together like as they came to us. So I feel like the thing I learned was to like try to get yourself in situations when you're filming where you can just really be in the moment, where you like, if you shoot a little bit to the left, there's not like a crew person there. There's less limitations. Like you're just out there, and whatever you find between like the director and the actor and the cinematographer, you can just like roll with it and improvise.
And you, James?
I would say one of the big things I learned from this was when you got an actor like Corey, just like get out of his way. Yeah, the thing about this was just like Rylan said, we did like test shots and everything. We kind of like previs the whole thing, and I was like, this is going to be a good looking movie. And like I knew Corey was a good actor. I worked with him before, but I was just like in my head, I was just like only really thinking about the shots, and we had like talked about the character, but since there's no dialogue, we hadn't really done a whole lot of like actual rehearsal. And so when we got on set and I saw what Corey was doing, I was just like, you know what? Doesn't matter what the movie looks like in my head. Our purview right now is just follow Corey as he goes to the places he's going to go. That was just like the biggest thing for me, was just kind of learning that when you have like talent like that, that you just follow them, see what they're going to do, and you just let them do it.
Trust your team is one of the themes that I'm hearing from a lot of people, especially with this particular festival. It really sounds like you guys put a lot of work into this, and it shows. It shows on screen. It's a very, very high quality thing, and I just think you really did your thing. It gives me almost a Requiem for a Dream vibe. I don't know if you like that one, but
it's probably in the back of my head a little bit.
Yeah, in the background, a little Darren Aronofsky, Sissy Spacek, going down the rabbit hole thing, and it's really cool to see. So that brings me to our next question: what's next? What's going on in the future? And it could be collective, or it could be just what you got going on personally. You don't have to give away any deep intellectual property, but just curious, Corey, what you working on next?
Right now, I'm on set on Vancouver Island for a movie called The Great Salish Heist, which is like a comedy heist film. And I'm playing the Russian guy, Yuri, it's been a lot of fun. So that's kind of just a booking that I had, and then with all of these guys, we have we started a production company with Nathan Houle and Brad Bergeron, and the three of us, who they were in Giraffe as well, and we have a couple projects on the go. We're just finishing up one called Bear Apocalypse, which is a comedy about the world after bears have taken over. And geez, what else? We have a couple scripts in development. James, Rylan, help me out here. My brain's a little foggy. What else? We have a couple.
Well, right now me and Rylan last week were actually went on a little retreat to edit. We don't even really know exactly what it is right now. We got together and shot this little like mockumentary about clowns with Corey and Brad and Nathan back in June, and so we're kind of trying to figure out what it is. There's a part of us is like, is this like a short feature or a long short? Because we got a lot of footage here. And it's just been a lot of fun putting that together. We shot some stuff with me and Rylan actually up at the cabin, which should be pretty cool to put in there. And also, I've got I just finished my MFA at the University of Victoria, and I've got my thesis script, which is a feature, which is very, I would say, pretty different from Blister in terms of tone. It's much more like fun, kind of meta romantic comedy. Kind of like Before Midnight meets like Eternal Sunshine kind of thing. Very, very kind of like all over the place in terms of like wackiness, but I think it's going to be really fun, and we're just kind of in the early stages of trying to get that off the ground right now. Also, we'll be starring Corey once again, playing a version of me, as you're destined to always play. Is just some version of me.
Corey, you stay working. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ride Corey's coattails all the way to the top, honestly.
Well, I feel the same way about you guys. So mutual.
What about you, Rylan?
Yeah, basically, I'm riding both of their coattails separately. So whatever they would like for me to shoot and edit, I will shoot and edit.
Good stuff. All right. Hey, James, is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, thanks a lot for bringing us in here again. Thanks to the judges and just thanks to the Oregon Film Festival, Short Film Festival, for inviting us back. And I'm really looking forward to the screening. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you coming in and being just so transparent about the whole process. Great group of filmmakers. We can't wait to show your film. Really makes us look good. You know, the judges are really proud to screen your work, and especially to lead it off. It's gonna be like, am I in one of our After Dark film festivals or what? But no, it's really, really cool. And
yeah, I noticed
so
that we were doing the first one there. I was like, is that really a 2 in the afternoon movie? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
we'll wake up, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to set a tone. That's for sure. So I'll just usher the kids out before we start. And I'm joking. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much and have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.